I'm going to do a brief garden update this morning just because everything's going really well and it's allowed me to see for next year how things are progressing. Today is June 14th and we had a big rain, kind of violent rain last night, and some things are beat down a little bit, but they're starting to actually recover already. I noticed we've got some little cayenne peppers and stuff are coming in down there. I don't know if you can see those, but they're looking really nice. Yeah, there's a really good used one. Actually several, man, that's ready to come in. It looks like our bell peppers are starting to happen here. Go down there so I can see the bell peppers. Those are little, those are probably, I don't know, about a third bigger than golf ball size now. Squash, we've been eating squash all week long. Squash has been great. So every one of these blooms, of course, will be another squash. Nikki came through and picked most of them yesterday. I see a few little ones down in there. There's one right there. So the zucchini and squash have been coming in really well. And these things, these kind of the round white ones, maybe she picked the other one yesterday. There's one of them. Those things have been fantastic. I love that. It's my favorite squash now. I told what those were last week in one of my garden reviews. Here it is. That's the early white bush squash white patty pan. God, it's a good squash. It's kind of sweet and a little bit nutty flavored. That's of course sweet potatoes and all there. And the sunflowers, we came in, looks like they're getting ready to bust out up there at the top. Getting ready to start. Anyway, these are the giant ones I think that she planted. And we had to stake those up because we were really afraid that this storm was going to mess everything up. My eggplant's coming along down there. That's gonna eventually be a pretty good sized eggplant. I hope it has more. It's got another bloom or two on it. Maybe it'll have some more. We have 3 or 4 eggplants kind of interspersed among all this. I think it's really pretty. I think Nikki in particular has done a great job. The carrots are looking real healthy. We just had a ton of rain. Look how the onions got knocked over. The onions got kind of knocked over in the wind yesterday. Very, very windy on Mineral Springs Mountain. Sometimes it's windy this morning. I don't even know how it's might be really messing up the audio here. Tomato, I know she's got tomatoes. I don't see any on that one though. I see some getting ready to happen here. Asparagus doing great again. The asparagus is my pride and joy. We got new growth coming out of the asparagus here, even though it's in June. I thought we weren't going to have any more new growth, but there's some sprouts coming out. And here, of course, is what she planted in the ground, under the ground this year. So those are starting to come up. We're going to have a big old mess of asparagus next year. Over here, I know somewhere I've seen tomatoes. I see some little tomatoes growing right down there. Yeah, we're going to have some tomatoes pretty soon. So here, even after the big storm, everything's looking really good. And of course, the blueberries are just what I absolutely love. So I'm going to get ready to enjoy some of those here in just a few minutes. That's what I'll have for my breakfast. This bush over here is really loaded down. I picked most of the ripe ones off of this one yesterday, but all the rest of those are going to be coming in very soon. So yeah, here's how the garden looks on June 14th, 2013. I've not done a good job of trimming. I'm going to come back out here with a mower and trim some of this weird grass. It started raining on me the other day when I was mowing. These other sunflowers, I don't see the flowers developing the top of those, but they're coming, I'm sure. It's just a different variety of sunflower she's grown here. Might as well go around the other side just to take a look. Tomatoes, lavender, all the little flowers and stuff she's doing to ward off pests, and so far that's done really well. I was surprised. I was very skeptical about that. But by planting these flowers here, there's certain ones that insects don't like. Again, I've said it before in the other videos, look up companion gardening, and that's what Nikki's attempting to do this year with the little flowers and stuff in the garden. Just shooting the grapevines now to see how they look. They're just still really getting started. I hope they end up eventually climbing these poles and running the length of everything. Ate some strawberries last night out of there after the rain passed. Go up high for a minute. I'm kind of holding the camcorder up over my head just so I can get a little different angle. So there it is. That's how we're doing with the raised bed in June. And these things, if you're not doing this with your own garden, I recommend you do it. You know, keep a track of visually how everything looks, because then you can go back and you can see probably when the best time to have planted would have been if you made a mistake. So far, I think we're doing pretty well. This year's been a really nice, abundant sort of garden, and it really is shaping up. I remember when I started digging this hole, I've got video of that, maybe I'll put a piece of that on here. When I was digging this hole with a mattock, I've got a video called The Human Tiller. I actually did every bit of this with a mattock. I had hoped it would be really nice and lush and full like this, but you know, you never know what you're going to really get. Of course, I knew we had success with that raised bed over there, so I was hoping that with the right soil mixtures, and of course what I've done, it's part native soil, part floodplain type soil, and part Miracle Grow soil. So I kind of mixed the three soils together. Nikki has put some additional Miracle Grow fertilizer in there just actually this week, and so yeah, it turned into a really nice growing type situation for this for all these plants, and we're having a great time eating from this little garden, folks. June 14th, 2013. Have a great day. Subscribe if you like to follow our little garden. Send us any questions you've got. I'll forward those, particularly if you have one for Nikki. She knows more about it than I do. I just document. She actually does most of the work. I just weed and create the beds, do the tilling and stuff. She actually plants most of the plants. But if you got a question, please send that along and we'll try to answer it. Happy gardening.